So 2 days ago, I talked about Prime and how there was a lawsuit filed against them because the grape-flavored Prime was tested and shown to have the same chemicals that are used to turn firefighting foam into more effective firefighting foam. And if you have ever tasted what's inside a fire extinguisher, then you would know that they shouldn't be finding that in a sports drink that's advertised to children. Prime isn't even meant for people under 18, but I can't name a single person that I've seen over the age of 15 drink a bottle of Prime. I've seen a homeless person chug a bottle of some shit that'll melt your fucking organs, but I have never seen an adult enjoy a Prime. Like I said in my last video, Prime is just a portable self-advertising billboard at this point. All you have to do is hold up a bottle and kids go crazy. And if your kid is going crazy for the grape Prime, then you might want to get that little sumbitch checked out. But this isn't anything new. This was something that was made public back in August of last year, and it wasn't until this guy, my dude, my all-around pal Tommy the lawyer, uploaded a 4-video breakdown exposing this whole operation to poison the nation's youth, predominantly the ones who like grape-flavored things.
There's actually a class action lawsuit against Prime Energy and Prime Hydration, which are energy drinks and sports drinks that were made by a company called Prime Energy, owned by Logan Paul.
I'll save you guys his riveting storytelling skills, and basically he just repeats what's said on the website, the same one I went over in my other video. And about this website, it isn't some random news site that makes up headlines for clicks. They specialize in filing lawsuits against these big companies on behalf of people who are affected that can't afford it themselves. So Tommy here isn't wiping shit from his ass trying to make Logan look like a bad person for personal reasons. He's just copying what this Asian lady said before him.
Logan Paul's Prime has been hit with a class action for false advertising. The grape Prime hydration flavor is being accused of having PFAS in it.
But what's funny is that in my last video, I made fun of this guy for addressing Logan Paul directly. I even said that he might have saw the video with 16 million views. But if this info was from last year and he still hasn't said anything, I wouldn't expect him to now. But I was wrong, and Logan saw the videos. But not just that. He responded to them.
Not only is there a lawsuit against Logan Paul's company Prime for there being PFOs, which are forever chemicals, in the Prime hydration drink.
All right, let's talk about this. First off, anyone can sue anyone at any time. That does not make the lawsuit true, and in this case, it is not. There's claims that PFOS or forever chemicals come from plastic. So in this case, they're not talking about the actual drink, the liquid Prime. They're talking about the bottle that Prime is manufactured in. This ain't a rinky-dink operation. We use the top bottle manufacturers in the United States. But let's say they're talking about the drink itself. Here's where their argument really falls apart. Pay attention.
But according to the testing done by one of the lawyers for the plaintiff...
Whoa! Hold it. You saw Goodman or Walter White, brother, because this little study that was conducted by a lawyer is absolute bull.
So first off, the lawsuit is real. I left a link to a PDF of it in the description. And second, what do you mean by let's just say he's talking about the drink? If he's not talking about the drink, you can't make it seem like he is for the sake of your argument. He even says himself they are talking about the bottle, not the drink.
So in this case, they're not talking about the actual drink, the liquid Prime. They're talking about the bottle that Prime is manufactured in.
But still, he's like, for the sake of my Breaking Bad joke that I really want to make, let's just say he's talking about the drink itself. He's not, but come on. I'm gonna say Saul Goodman and Walter White in the same joke. That's an opportunity you can't pass up. Also, notice how he's going after someone who's just repeating what another lawyer said and not the actual lawyer who filed the lawsuit. He'll just call her study bullshit and act like it doesn't even exist. But of course, Logan in his fragile little ego can't admit when his company made a mistake. That's 100% fixable, by the way. So he just goes to shit talking because he knows he can't win with his brain.
They're claiming that Prime has 0.06 ppt, parts per trillion. But that's interesting because the EPA says that anything under 1.1 ppt cannot be deemed as reasonably accurate, meaning they don't have the right tools or resources to even prove what they're claiming. Are you following this? It means the detection limit is 66 times more than what they're claiming we have in our drink. And that's just the detection limit. Your own state will not even take action unless it's over 40 parts per trillion. So we don't even think this information is factual, but for the sake of this conversation, let's continue.
In one Prime hydration drink, they found 3 times the amount of PFOs that you should consume in drinking water in your life.
So if you guys notice, he's saying all these stats really fast because he couldn't even spend 5 minutes defending his company and wanted to get this out as fast as possible. But I can tell you, because I didn't, but 99% of the people who watch this have no idea what the fuck a forever chemical is. They have no idea what a PFAS test is. is. You're literally speaking another language to everyone watching. He's reading off these numbers like you guys would even know how to read this chart. He thinks you're gonna be like, oh, I see it now. The EPA doesn't want the PPTs in the water like in the Simpsons movie, because then we'll get put in a dome. And Logan's like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, baby. You're a Gustavo if I ever met one. But I will say here's where Tommy fucked up, because while he had good intentions, he said the right info in the wrong way. Now, I don't expect you to get this, but I'll layman's terms it for you. Basically, he said there were 3 times the amount of PFAS you should be drinking in one Prime bottle. Now, while it does say that in the lawsuit, it doesn't say it's from one Prime bottle. There's this lady on TikTok who goes by Food Science Babe, who Logan also uses in his video, but she explains that what he said was inaccurate, and also explains how she thinks the lawsuit is inaccurate because of their numbers. Again, I don't expect you to understand any of this, because it even took me a couple Google searches to finally understand what she said, but here's her input.
The lawsuit also alleges that the amount of PFAS found within the product from the plaintiff's testing is approximately 3 times the recommended lifetime health advisory for drinking water, which is 0.02 parts per trillion. The level that was reportedly found was below the limit of detection, and if that even was the level, it is still 66 times lower than the recently established federal maximum contaminant level of 4 parts per trillion for PFOS.
Now, I totally see your point. It is a little weird that the amount of PFAS they detected are lower than what can supposedly be detected, but why are they both ignoring the big paragraph above that saying all the other chemicals they found? I get that they can Google information, but they're also ignoring the fact that this was done on behalf of a law firm that has gotten over $50 billion in settlements since they've opened. So yeah, you guys might have found a flaw in their system, but the last time I checked, you're not the most trustworthy guy, and that means something in the business world. But even after all that shit talking, Logan ends the video with a compromise.
For customer safety, we retain samples of every single batch of Prime that has ever come off the production line. So if/when this plaintiff wants to come forward with a production number, we will retain samples from that batch and conduct our own independent study.
Why didn't he already do that when the lawsuit came out last year? Oh, that's right, because nobody was going viral making a big deal out of it. Makes sense, makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yep, makes sense. Yep, makes sense. Yep, makes sense. Yep. Also, how the fuck are you going to test for anything if you just told us that you supposedly can't test for what they just fucking tested for? What? Yeah, you guys' testing is bullshit because you can't even find what you're trying to test for. But let us test, just let us do our independent testing, and then we'll figure out this whole debacle you've gotten everyone into. I also don't think Logan realizes that this study was about one specific flavor of Prime. It wasn't every flavor that got it, it was the grape flavor alone. They even told him what flavor it came from in the lawsuit, with pictures included to avoid confusion. But do you think Logan went that deep when getting information for his video? Do we? But still, he decides to talk shit about someone who's not doing this with ill intent, but just as an informative precaution for you and the future batches Prime produces. Say that 5 times quick. But you could have reached out to them and been like, hey, can we test the batch that you guys tested? But no, your dumbass thinks Tommy is the mastermind behind this plot to take down your whole company. Meanwhile, the lawyers at Milberg are like, who the fuck is this Tommy guy? You want the production number? Here, go, here's the production number. Sorry, but unless somebody's trying to suck your dick, you don't answer the phone. So sue us. Actually,
one person conducted a random study and has provided 0 evidence to substantiate any of their claims. So Tommy the TikTok lawyer, 4 videos in, man, farm those views, get those likes, and get a haircut while you're at it. We'll accept an apology within the next 48 hours, otherwise you're going to be representing yourself in a miserable courtroom for lying about our brand.
So there he goes again, just talking shit about this other lawyer. And are you really going to tell this guy to get a haircut when you had to get a hair transplant to save the bird's nest you were starting to grow? Logan is literally shooting the messenger here, because again, Tommy has nothing to do with this other than saying one wrong thing when reading the lawsuit made by someone else. Literally, if he didn't make that small mistake of saying what they found was in one bottle of Prime, this would have been a full-length response video posted on YouTube. But because all Logan was really doing was disproving one fact that someone else got wrong, he turned this whole video into hating on a bystander who posts TikToks. But whoever gave Logan the green light on giving this guy a 48-hour window to apologize before they sue him for something that he has nothing to do with is pretty funny. I'm sure no one on his team actually told him to do that, and he freestyled that off the dome like that Walter White joke. But all Logan did here was bully someone into deleting their videos, thinking that's gonna stop the lawsuit. Someone let him know that it's been there since August of last year, and he had plenty of time to clear this all up. But instead, he waited for a situation to go viral before he said anything. Typical Paul brother. And the guy deleted his videos and deleted his response videos. Not because he was wrong about the lawsuit, but because he was wrong about one thing in the lawsuit. He even uploaded this video as I'm editing, explaining that he was wrong, but that the lawsuit is still happening.
And in all seriousness, I respect Logan Paul. I think he's a fierce defender of his product. And guess what? It's going to play out in court. And if he's right, then Prime should and will prevail.
It's kind of scary how Logan can just say all of this and then have this random fucking TikTok doctor back you up and everyone thinks the lawsuit is bullshit. Logan is not the most honest person, and yeah, he's just reading off facts, but like I said, nobody understands what he's explaining and only understood his insults. And your fans are quite literally some of the most stupid people out there and will think you insulting someone makes all the bad things you've ever done go away. But yeah, until Logan shows me the tests that he can do but is choosing not to do, and shows me that there are none of these chemicals in the Great Prime, then I'm going to believe the law firm who has taken money from people like Raytheon, Rite Aid, and CMS before I believe someone who has a potential to be their next paycheck. See you guys tomorrow, where I have to make an apology to Logan Paul personally. Peace.